Yes, I'm going to discuss about customer journey mapping today, but first I'd like to start off with a rant. I'm really upset about something, and then we'll see if we have time after that to discuss customer journey mapping more in detail. But 3 months ago, I bought an apartment. I went to an open house on Sunday. That's when most of the open houses are held in Finland. I had been semi-seriously looking for a new place for some time for me and my fiancée, and after 10 minutes I really felt like this is the place that I need to have. I put in the offer on spot, and 2 hours from that my offer was accepted. Well, obviously it means a bit too high, but at the same time I got the apartment of my dreams. I paid the down payment immediately, a few thousand euros, and that leaves me with 1 week to come up with the rest of the money. So, as I said, this happened on Sunday. Banks are closed on Sundays. Who would need money on a day when most apartments are sold, right? So I waited till Monday morning, and at 8 o'clock at the office, I went to my bank's website to look for the phone number to schedule a meeting with the loan advisor. And proactive chat appears on my screen. How can I help you? I'm like, oh, you can help me by scheduling a meeting with the loan advisor. It's like, okay, may I ask you a few questions? Are you a customer of ours? Yes, I am. In which area did you buy the apartment from? Southern Helsinki. And a few other questions. After which they tell me, please fill out the form on our site. And what are these questions for? And I start filling out the form, which is the only way to get the meeting. Halfway into that form, I encounter a problem. There's a question that I can't answer because I'm at the office and all my old loan documents are at home. But the question is in relation to the loan that I have with this exact bank. So I reach out again through chat, asking like, hey, what do I put in here? Because this is a compulsory field. There's like, oh, this chat function is only to assist you with general inquiries and navigating the page. If you need assistance with the form, please contact our phone customer service. That opens at 9. Luckily I was in a meeting at that time, so it was convenient to wait till 9 o'clock before making the phone call. I make the phone call and I queue for 20 minutes. I fill out the form with the agent together. I think it took us like 25 minutes. She's telling me every answer, what do I need to write there and so on. Then I'm like, okay, great, the form is filled, when can we meet? Like, no, it's a different department that is handling the loan negotiations, that now that you have submitted the form, they will contact you soon. It's like, what is soon? Is it hours, days, or weeks? Because this is rather urgent, I practically have 5 days. And the answer was, it shouldn't be weeks. I was like, yeah, it shouldn't. Well, it wasn't weeks. It was actually 3-4 days that I get the phone call from my bank that, hey, this is someone from the loan advisor team. And I was like, great, can we sort this out now? I have 2 days. And I'm like, no, I'm only calling to schedule the meeting. I was like, oh, okay. So we scheduled the meeting 2 weeks ahead of that. Obviously, that was too late for me already. That meeting got postponed twice because bank had a double booking. They were kind enough to notify me day in advance. And eventually, I had this negotiation this Saturday morning at 10 a.m. And guess what we did over this negotiation? We filled out the same form because that person didn't have access to it. And what happened then? In the end of this call, I asked, do I get my offer now? It's like, no, we'll do some calculations and I will get back to you soon. I was like, okay, what is soon? Well, I'm busy the rest of the day, tomorrow we're not working, so it should be during next week, which is this week. It's Friday, 10 a.m. in Finland, and I still haven't heard back. So what does this rant have to do with customer journey mapping? As we know, customer journey map, it visualizes your customer's relationship with your company over time, across channels, It also identifies all the touch points where they may interact with you, but most importantly, it also identifies the emotional states that they are in at each step, when they are struggling, when they are frustrated, when they need most help. And on top of that, it obviously also determines the goal of each journey, which in my banking experience would have been the granted loan. They can look like whatever, but the main importance is that it visualizes the process and through which you can also identify sort of like the spots where you should put your focus on, where your customer needs most of your help. I'm not going to discuss technology today. There's a lot of great tools to this. Andy mentioned one, I think it was a Swedish company this morning to me, so I'll talk to Andy as well. But I would sort of, because of the crowd, I'd like to focus on the points or the touch points where the customer feels frustrated and exactly engages with you, and it's a customer service. If we add customer to this journey, it becomes evident why there isn't one journey fits all model. Our customers, we benchmark our customer experience across industries. The best experience we've had becomes the new minimum. That's the level of expectation when we interact the next time with another company. It doesn't matter if it's Amazon or a bank. We still expect the same service. Our customers today are always connected through their cell phones. They want to feel unique, or they are unique, and they expect personalized service, meeting their needs. They are extremely demanding. And because of all this, they're also easily lost. They are impatient. What was it, 3 seconds if you don't see someone typing back to you over the chat, you start to get frustrated. Not to mention 20-minute wait over the phone or 3-month wait over the loan offer. And on top of this, we are extremely unpredictable. I don't think my bank foresaw that I'm going to buy an apartment on spot before talking to them. I don't know if they knew that I'm going to reach out to them over the chat and so on and so on. So we make choices in a moment which are sometimes hard to predict. Also, the choices that we make when contacting the companies, we also use different channels, and this also varies greatly between different generations. Tom, you had a slide about this yesterday as well, if I remember correctly. I would like to point out a few things from this. I have to move the chair. So I'm not sure if everyone can see it, but I'll walk you through it. On the bottom, we have silent generation born before 44, then baby boomers, 45, 60, Generation X, 61, 80, and Generation Y, 81 to 99. And if we look at their preferred channels when contacting customer service, I would say that all the way up to from baby boomers, it is really scattered already. So there's 29, 28, 21, whereas on top everything is practically on the left on chat and other instant messaging tools. But at the same time, even though the usage of phone is decreasing, but it is still there. It hasn't gone anywhere. Even though the chat is increasing, it doesn't mean that people wouldn't be sending emails and so on. So the bottom line is that when you offer service in these channels, as a customer, we expect the exact same service, the exact same resolution for our challenges when we reach out. So I would say that this adds a small challenge to every customer service center. As I said, taking the journey map into consideration, taking the profile of our customer nowadays and also the channels they use, we come down to a real butterfly effect. Not the most positive one, I would say. Because this customer journey map, it helps you to identify the moments of truth. The moments in the customer journey that shape the image of your brand the most in the customer's eyes. And in many cases, if we exclude the first impression when they first enter your site, in most of those cases, they are in contact with your customer service. And if we look at this, 91% of people won't buy again from a company where they had a bad customer experience. What do we do after bad customer experience? We go online and rant. I ranted about my bank experience, and I'm sorry to reach a few people on LinkedIn. After that, before making a decision, we read online reviews. 93% of people do that. It's the silent generation who doesn't necessarily know how to do that, but they ask a friend, it's just nothing, this, that. And then 80% won't buy from company that has those negative reviews. So this obviously is the negative butterfly effect that we can create, but at the same time there are moments where we can shine and pretty much do the opposite. So how do we avoid this 91%? I would say that it comes down to providing a great customer service at all times. And to me, great customer service comes down to 4 different things. Accessibility. It's channels for service and it's opening hours. So like I said, my bank wasn't accessible on a day that I needed them the most. But I would say that another relevant thing, it's also accessibility to the service. It doesn't help me as a customer that I can get to have an unmeaningful interaction through a channel with a person who can't help me. That's not accessibility as regards to the service. It's just to talk to someone. Quickness. Waiting is the #1 frustration of all the people. Obviously, great examples again by Tom, how we can automate a lot of things. But if we automate, let's say that the bank would have used a chatbot on their website to collect this information from me, connected me to a chat agent who could have actually helped me further, picked up the phone and called me and taken me through this process. That's also quickness in a relation, when do I get help, but it's also quickness as regards to the resolution. Did my challenge get resolved? And then, obviously, the personalization part. As a customer, we give away a lot of information when we visit websites, when we engage with customer service, no matter what channel it is, it should leave some track to the customer service. And we at customer service should at all times have this 360 view of the customer. When I engage with them, they should know what I'm frustrated about. They should know where I'm buying the apartment from. They should know that I waited for 3 months. They might want to start by apologizing for that, and so on. So it's a great tool to actually empower the customer service to have those meaningful interactions. Luckily, it's not always so bad, so you can also do it right. This is me on my bed. Sorry about the tennis socks, I play tennis, that's my excuse. This is the apartment that I put in the offer 3 months ago. This is also the apartment where I moved in 2.5 months ago. So the bank that I told you the story about, they're not only wasting my time, I'm also wasting theirs to benchmark the service. On that Monday morning, I contacted the other bank that I'm a customer to. I have 2 housing loans already, and 1 from each bank. I called their local branch and asked, how quickly can you guys help me? They said, just 1 sec, I'll look around hey, Tony is available, can Tony call you? I said, I don't know Tony, but Tony can call me. And Tony called me and said that, Immo, I'm sorry, I have only 20 minutes. Can we go through everything that we can now, and let's schedule a online meeting for tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. I understand the urgency. We pretty much filled out the form again over the phone, but obviously he also said at many stages that yes, I have this information, I can access it. So he proactively helped me to achieve my goal. And what happened? We had the online meeting the next morning at 8 o'clock. I didn't realize that I was in Stockholm at the time, which meant 7 o'clock for me. And I remember in the beginning apologizing for eating my porridge at the same time that we're having the meeting, and his answer to me was, isn't this exactly how you should be dealing with the bank? Handling your daily business while we assist you. So I would say that it all comes down to providing exceptional service with the goal in mind. All these steps in the journey are just steps in our internal processes. They are irrelevant to the customer. All we want is to use the product, get the loan, and so on. So what we need to do is we need to empower our people, we need to allow jumps in the process, we need to let the people shine and actually focus on providing the great customer experience. And then dreams may come true. So the bottom line is you can't compete with price and product only. Customer experience is number one differentiator nowadays, and your customer service is in big part responsible for that. Thank you.